स्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवत् व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ओम शांति शांति शांति। ओम पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणं मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवती अष्टादशाध्यायिनी अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषी यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्ररुद्रमरुतः स्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैः गायन्ति यं सामगाः ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनः यस्यान्तं न विदुःसुरासुरगणाः देवाय तस्मै नमः देवाय तस्मै नमः। या रमेश कृष्णमूर्ति। Okay, let us chant from number 13. सर्वकर्माणि मनसा
सर्वकर्माणि मनसा
सन्न्यस्यास्ते सुखं वशी
सन्न्यस्यास्ते सुखं वशी
नवद्वारे पुरे देहि
नवद्वारे पुरे देहि
नैव कुर्वन्न कारयन्
नैव कुर्वन्न कारयन्
न कर्तृत्वं न कर्माणि
न कर्तृत्वं न कर्माणि
लोकस्य सृजति प्रभुः
लोकस्य सृजति प्रभुः
न कर्मफलसंयोगम्
न कर्मफलसंयोगम्
स्वभावस्तु प्रवर्तते
स्वभावस्तु प्रवर्तते
नादत्ते कस्यचित् पापम्
नादत्ते कस्यचित् पापम्
न चैव सुकृतं विभुः
न चैव सुकृतं विभुः
अज्ञानेनावृतं ज्ञानम्
अज्ञानेनावृतं ज्ञानं
तेन मुह्यन्ति जन्तवः
तेन मुह्यन्ति जन्तवः
ज्ञानेन तु तदज्ञानम्
ज्ञानेन तु तदज्ञानं
येषां नाशितमात्मनः
येषां नाशितमात्मनः
तेषाम् आदित्यवत् ज्ञानम्
तेषाम् आदित्यवत् ज्ञानम्
प्रकाशयति तत्परम्
प्रकाशयति तत्परम्
तद्बुद्धयस्तदात्मानः
तद्बुद्धयस्तदात्मानः
तन्निष्ठास्तत्परायणाः
तन्निष्ठास्तत्परायणाः
गच्छन्त्य पुनरावृत्तिम्
गच्छन्त्यपुनरावृत्तिम्
ज्ञाननिर्धूतकल्मषाः
ज्ञाननिर्धूतकल्मषाः
विद्याविनयसम्पन्ने
विद्याविनयसम्पन्ने
ब्राह्मणे गविहस्तिने
ब्राह्मणे गविहस्तिनि
शुनि चैव श्वपाके च
शुनि चैव श्वपाके च
पण्डिताः समदर्शिनः
पण्डिताः समदर्शिनः.
Today we'll do 19. इहैव तैर्जितः सर्गः
इहैवत्तैर्जितः सर्गः
येषां साम्ये स्थितं मनः
येषां साम्ये स्थितं मनः
निर्दोषं हि समं ब्रह्म
निर्दोषं हि समं ब्रह्म
तस्माद् ब्रह्मणि ते स्थिताः
तस्माद् ब्रह्मणि ते स्थिताः.
इहैव तैर्जितः सर्गः
इहैवत्तैर्जितः सर्गः
येषां साम्ये स्थितं मनः
येषां साम्ये स्थितं मनः
निर्दोषं हि समं ब्रह्म
निर्दोषं हि समं ब्रह्म
तस्माद् ब्रह्मणि ते स्थिताः
तस्मात् ब्रह्मणि ते स्थिताः.
It is often said that we look at the world the way we look at ourselves. They say things like, the world is but a mirror image of yourself. These words, sometimes you see these sentences. And there is a lot of truth to that. So if for me, the way I dress is very important. And every fold and every color and every pattern and every matching contrast is so important. Then I will look at people also in the same way. What kind of dress they are wearing today? Your dress good, your dress could be better. And if this was green and not slightly lighter in color, then that would be better. So this is how the thinking goes. We don't say it's wrong, but that's how it is. That's how the thinking goes. And if looks are important to me, I spend a lot of time in a given day looking at myself. So it's very obvious that we love ourselves because we look at ourselves, and we never say, "Oh, what a boring face." Last 50, 60, 70 years I've been looking at you, and what have you done to me? So nobody says that. We just love ourselves. We just look at every part of the face and head, and I don't know. We never get tired by that. That's still amazing to me. I haven't figured that out. And so that shows we love ourselves. And so if looks are important beyond a point, then I will look at other people also in the same way. And of course, if wealth is important, then my mind is carried away by possessions, and I may begin to start judging people the same way. I cannot escape that. I really cannot escape that. And if emotions are important to me, my feelings are important. Then I look at people also. I look for love and compassion. I look for generosity. I look for sharing, giving, and that gives me a lot of strength. And I love people who are like me. So that becomes natural. And what about my intellect, my thinking, my analytical capability? Everybody has the capacity. So if I'm analytical, then I begin to look for cause and effect, look for analysis, look for debates, look for things like that in people and things. This is how it works. And God also, I will look in the same way. If looks are important to me, then for me, God's looks are also very important. How we should dress him up, how we should dress her up, what kind of food we should give her, and all the abhisheka and all becomes very important. And finally, all the details are important. For others also, it's important, no doubt. We have to pay attention. We do abhishekam to Bhagavan. We have to pay attention. But those aspects become very important. And so, like this, looks, then emotions. If the attributes of the person, a character and all are important, then I begin to look at God as the most compassionate. He is compassionate. She is compassionate. Dina Dayalu. And that is how I begin to look at Bhagavan. And if I look at Bhagavan as if intellecting, thinking, decision making, these become important to me, then I look at Bhagavan also as Sarvajna, all knowing that he is the one who knows everything. All. He created this world. He has to be all knowing. So I can connect with the Sarvajnatvam aspect. And if I look at myself as somebody who has all kinds of qualities, good, bad, ugly, doesn't matter. But I am endowed with various attributes. And I am only as good as my attributes. I am only as good as my accomplishments. Then I am going to look at Ishvara also as somebody who has attributes. Very great attributes, not limited like me, of course, very Sarva Shaktiman, but attribute. Ishvara is full of attributes, great attributes. If I can look at myself as Nirgunam, can I be free of attributes despite so many attributes that I can see in myself? If I can see myself as Nirgunam, then I can appreciate Ishvara also as. And so there is a lot of truth in this. How I look at myself is the way I look at everything in this, everything else in this world, including God. And so here in this previous shloka, number 18, Vidya Vinaya Sampanne Brahmane Gavi Hastini. So Krishna is explaining the vision of this wise person and this Pandita, and how they see, essentially they see the same Atma in every being. In every non-being also they will see the same Atma. In every inanimate object also the same Atma is there. But the Atma is expressed in the living being. Consciousness is manifest and the living being begins to act, move, think, and things like that. A lot of things happen. And therefore we give special attention to living beings. And here that point is mentioned here. And so that Samadarshi is being talked about. And here, suppose somebody says, the student has now learnt and he is very clear now. And so he goes to the Guru and says, we are all Brahma. You are Brahma, I am Brahma. And I've been doing Namaskar to you all these months, all these years, thinking all these divisions are real. But now these divisions are mithya. There is no Guru, there is no Shishya and all that. So why don't you do Namaskar to me for a change? Okay. So Swami Paramarthanandaji says, don't do that. Even though everything the student said is correct, don't put this challenge to the Guru. You know why? Don't think the Guru will be shaken. Don't think the Guru will be upset. Don't think the Guru is going to say, how dare you do this to me? I've been patiently teaching you all these years. Now, the Guru may actually do namaskar to you and you may not be able to handle that. Okay? He will do namaskar because he has no problem. You said it. You are great. How am I to judge you? You are a wise man. Now I can do namaskar to you because even I also have to. I have a lot of things to change in myself. I'm not perfect by any. So I will do namaskar to you. Please bless me. Now what the student will do? Huh? Will he run away or what? We don't know. So Shankara says somewhere, says uh, Advaitam Trishu Lokesh. Yeah, everything, the entire world is Atma, no doubt. But Na Advaitam Guruna Saha. Guruna Saha. When it comes to your teacher, don't 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 bring that equation too close, and give your share of respect to the Guru like that. Shankara says. And so here now we are entering shloka number 19. Also an important shloka. Because it highlights certain aspects of our dharma which are unique, which we all should remind ourselves about it. Okay, let's see what these are. Okay. So the wise person is going to see the same Atma, same Dhamma in every being in this world. This was said in the 18th shloka. And and then there is nothing more to be accomplished after that. Everything is done. Whatever is to be done is done. Name parthasti kartavyam. Krishna also said that. And in the third chapter, number 22. So nothing for me to accomplish anymore. And neither, not just for me, Krishna, God Krishna, but also for anybody who knows as I am and knows the nature of this. Nothing is to be done, nothing is to be accomplished. And so I am all pervasive, sarvagataha. Just like space is all pervasive. And I am the content of the space itself. Even though space is all pervasive, space is jadam, space is inert. I am the one who provides that being to space. And so that's the nature of myself. I see myself everywhere. Without me, the world doesn't exist. This is the vision. This is the vision of the wise person. And so now that person begins to teach. And what kind of teaching can it be? So here is a non-vegetarian. Here is a vegetarian. Here is a very sattvic person taking a lot of good diet and things like that. And here is somebody who is reckless. And so many different types of people are there. What can the teaching be? The teaching has to be the same still. That's from Asi only. Can't be different. Now, some differences have to be there. Everybody is not prepared. We saw that before. And to be prepared, so from the dog eater, perhaps he or she can be encouraged to take the dog away from the diet. That is a good start. And why should I not eat a dog? Yeah, you can eat anything you want, but if you were to ask the permission of the dog doesn't give you permission. It's very obvious, and no animal wants to end up on your plate. Very obvious, even though they cannot speak, they tell you in so many ways. So we need to be sensitive to all that. That sensitivity is so important. And this Vedanta is so amazing that there is no shortcut. Correct? There is no shortcut. You can't say I will do whatever I want and then I can figure this out. It doesn't seem possible. That's what it is. It's easy for the one who is sensitive to everything and who is ready to accept what things are, how things are. And so those things are there, that the preparation, disciplines, all that need to be talked about, need to be taught. And then of course the teaching becomes clear. And here Shankara makes it a point to say that in his Bhashyam, in his commentary, he says that it doesn't mean just because the Pandita sees everybody as Atma, doesn't mean they treat everybody. He treats everybody with respect, no doubt, but person is not confused. Person is not confused. Swamiji is coming, all these different people are there. The dog eater will not be considered the same as a Swami. No, because they're all different. They deserve respect. Everybody should do namaskar to the Swami. Swami cannot do namaskar and need not do namaskar to the dog eater. So all that is very clear. Who is very clear. Who needs help and who is already able to provide help. All that is very clear. So there is no confusion in the mind of the wise person. So sometimes people get carried away by this vision, and so one has to maintain in the transactional world. We have to see things as they are, and so the person eats food and will not go out and then pick up stones and then eat stones. A stone also is atma. Tasty food is also atma. Annam, rice, a chawal is also atma. Everything is atma. So I can eat. Great. Thanks to Vedanta, now I can eat anything I want. There is no more shortage of food. Okay. No, I don't have to spend money on food anymore. No, that doesn't work like that. So Shankara is saying that just to remind us, just in case we begin to think in that direction. And so because so this vision is so important. And now ihaiva taihi jitaha sargaha, he says that. Sargaha jitaha. Sargaha. Sarga is a popular word in our Shastram. We see it. Sargaha means, sometimes it means birth. And that word birth also is implied to mean the whole cycle of birth and death. It means the entire life. And the life and its cycle and the transmigration and everything that our Shastra talks about is referred to by the word Sargaha. Sargaha means a life of samsara. We have seen the word samsara. Same. Sargaha is equal to samsara. So samsaraha. Samsaraha jitaha. Jitaha means jeet gaya or jit gaya. I don't know how the passive in Hindi, I'm not sure. I'm not used to it. It's been too long. So jitaha is passive. The samsara is won over. And the person is victorious over that samsara. Okay. Sargaha jitaha. Okay. Taihi. By whom is it won over? By those people. Taihi means by those. By those. Okay. By those. And so that is Shashti Bahuvachanam. So Tat Pullinga. By those. By those. So I'm sorry, not Shashti. Tritiya Vibhakti. Tena Tabhyam Taihi. By whom? By Panditaihi, obviously. Samadarshibhihi. Panditaihi, which was described in the previous shloka. By them, it is won over. Now, that we have seen before, it is won over. And and then he's going to say, Ihaiva. Ihaiva means here itself. Here itself. We'll come to that a bit later. We'll talk about those people who Panditaihi, who are those people? Yesham samye sthitam manah. Yesham, for whom their minds, the manaha, samye sthitam. Samye sthitam. So we need to understand that. Samye. So not difficult to interpret what this means. And so we've seen that the person understands Atma. Despite this body having so many qualities, Atma is something that does not have any of those qualities and is not affected by the qualities of the body. Okay. And the teacher cannot tell the dog eater that, hey, you're eating dogs, it's crazy. And so your Atma is tainted by that. Can't say that because Atma cannot be tainted by that. Padma Patram Ivam Masa. We saw that some time ago. Like the water does not touch, does not wet the petal, even though it is in contact with the petal. And then of course Atma is not born, najayate, mriyate, etc. Seen in the second chapter, 20th shloka, najayate, mriyate, va kadachit. It is true for the Brahmana, it is true for the dog eater, it is true for the elephant and the cow also, and for the dog as well. And in fact, all this analysis is possible only because of that Atma. That Atma is the one that gives me the ability to do all the analysis. And yet that Atma cannot be objectified. How come this Atma is so great and everybody talks about the greatness of Atma? Where are you? Show me. Why are you hiding? Are you afraid or what? You know, this is crazy. And this great person, everybody, all great people want to come in front of the camera, and then they want to acknowledge themselves and things like that. But this great Atma, I'm not able to see. And that's because yad vacha anabhyuditam yena vag abhyudyate. Upanishad is going to say that. Yad vacha anabhyuditam. That which words cannot approach. Words cannot approach Atma. Yena vag abhyudyate. That which gives life to words. That which makes words appear. Speech appear. That tadeva tvam brahma tadvidhi. Understand that as Brahma. And he also makes another statement. Nedam yadidam upasate. Not that whom you worship. Means what? Not that whom you worship as somebody separate from you. Look at Kenopanishad. Look at how it is stretching our imagination. We study Bhagavad Gita, then we jump to Upanishad, and there Upanishad stretches our thinking some more. Very bold statement. Then again, so yat shrotrena na shrutam, yena shrotam idam shrutam. That which cannot be heard, Atma cannot be heard, because Atma has no qualities. It has to have the quality of sound in order to be heard, Atma. But yena Shotram idagam shrutam. That is, the Atma is that which enables sounds to happen, enables hearing to take. Tadeva Brahmatvam vidhi. May you understand that to be Atma and that to be Brahma. Nedam yadidam upasati. But not that whom you worship as a Devata. What? But Devata is Atma. But if you think that Devata is separate from you, he is great, she is great, Sarva Shaktiman, all powerful, okay. But if you think of God as separate from you, then you've got the wrong idea. Correct? Your idea is wrong. Better correct it. That's what the Upanishad is saying. And so this is the type of Atma. This is the idea of the wise person. This is the vision of the wise person. And what about time and space? Time also. I thought time was given. Time was there long before I was born. Space was there long before I was born. I was born in space, in fact. And people were there before me. Scientists were there before me. Everything was there before me. No. You were born, all right. Your body was born, no doubt. But Atma gives existence to time. Atma gives existence to space. Okay. This is why physicists love Vedanta. And because Krishna says, Kalosmiham, later on we are going to see. Who am I? Who are you, Krishna? I am time. What? I am time. Yeah, I give existence to time. And I am the one holding this chakra. And the entire time is moving. I am the one, the center, unmoving, unchanging. And I am the Swaprakashaha. I am the one who illumines time. Time is there in your mind. There is no time in deep sleep. Time is a concept. There is no object called time that is separate from you, Arjuna. That's what Krishna is going to say. Okay. So, therefore, everything is mithya. The entire Jagat is Mithya. Time also is Mithya. Space also is Mithya. And who am I? I am the Satyam. I am the Satya Atma. And that that vision, I am the Satya Atma, and that same Satya Atma is there in the dog eater. The same Satya Atma is there in the Brahmana, in the sannyasi. Everybody has that same Atma. Samye, Yesham Manaha, Samye Sthitam. Yesham, whose minds, literal meaning, whose minds are established in that same Brahma, means whose minds see that same Brahma in everybody. That is the way to understand that. And so, that having been said, then Iha Eva Jitaha. We saw that Tair Jitaha. This Sarkaha is 1 over. This samsara, this life of becoming up and down life. Up and down life is 1 over. By these people who see everything as same. Yesham Manaha Samya Sthitam. Okay, you can see Sanskrit students, Sthitam is Napumsakam. And you wonder why Sthitam is Napumsakam? That is because Manaha is Napumsakam. Even though Manaha has a Visarga in front of it, doesn't mean it is full. Manas, Sakaranta Napumsakam. Okay, so when did they win over? After death. That is what most people tell us. All religions in the world tell us. You must die in order to go to heaven. You must die in order to be liberated. You must die in order to get moksha. Is there in our Sanatana Dharma also? And death is important. And in the sense, only after death you are going to be with God. You are, of course, this body, this small mind, no way you can go anywhere near God. You must die. Then you will, because you led a very good life, God will accept you. Correct? That is what this runs everybody. The whole world is driven. The energy for the world is provided by this attraction. I will go and reach God. This is very, people take it literally also. Nothing wrong with that. It's good. People are religious and it keeps people under check. But then what does Krishna say? Look at this. Iha eva. Iha eva, he says. The first word is to be split like that. Iha eva. Here itself. Here itself means here and now. When you are alive in this body, this whatever body, whether you like this body, is it healthy body, unhealthy body, it's all in this life itself. If you understand this vision, you are liberated. How am I going to accept this? How can this be the same as I will get moksha after death? Those two are two different things. Krishna says, Ihaiva, Ihaiva, while living, because knowledge can be gained only while living. And so moksha also while living. So important it is. And so we have to keep these things in mind. And so you got people knocking on the door and giving out all these pamphlets. You need to worry about all these things these days. We have to talk about all this. We have to know how to deal with it. So I read one thing somewhere, and I keep that in mind. So, of course, when somebody comes and says, this is your God, Jesus, I brought some good news, Jesus. Now we have to think about all this because we are not judging anybody. We are sitting quietly and studying Vedanta. What have we got to do with Jesus and Allah and all? We say everybody is same. But they are the ones who are knocking on my door. So I have to come up with some I have to protect myself. I don't want them to become Hindus. My religion doesn't tell me that. Go out and convert people. Go out and do jihad. No, they don't tell me all that. I'm quietly sitting and doing my job. But these fellows, they're just coming everywhere, coming up to the neck. So we have to protect ourselves. So this guy says, so somebody comes and says, they have good news. You also should say, I have greater. You have to say that. Welcome them, say it. And then have a debate with them. And then what is the great news? You ask him, they will tell you Jesus, and Jesus saves you and all that. You tell them, I have great news, you're already saved. You're already saved. You don't have to go to Jesus. What do you mean by that? Because No, no, you can't be saved. Only Jesus can save. No, you are already saved. Atma is pure, you are saved. You just don't know what it is. What do you mean by that? Well, I'll take you one more step. You are Jesus. That's the great news I have. You have to give them something which they can't handle. That is the only way to protect Sanatana Dharma. Otherwise, these fellows will not. If and then he says, no, you're a heretic. You're doing this and doing that. You can't speak like this about Jesus. Okay, then finally, if you have to, then you say, okay, you're saying that you are giving me good news. Are you a Christian? Yes. Are you a true Christian? Yes. Do you really have belief in Jesus? Yes. Okay. Then look up your Bible. Open the Bible. Look up the Gospel of Mark. Look up the Gospel of Mark, 16th chapter. Okay. Look up verses 16, 17, and 8. What does it say? Then he reads that. So he who is the believer who believes in me, he will walk over serpents and nothing will happen to him, and will drink poison and will be unaffected by poison. And he will keep the hand on the sick, and the sick shall recover. Does it say that? Yeah. Does it say that the believer is unaffected by poison? Make sure you have a bottle of Clorox handy with you before you do this dialogue. Okay? Keep a bottle of Clorox and you tell him, now drink this. Drink this. I want to believe. I want to become a Christian. But I want to believe who you are. I want you to prove that you are a true believer of Christ. Just prove it to me. One thing, that's all. After that, I will come with you wherever you want. Then he says, then you know, and he says, what? What are you? This is not. You can't test Jesus like this, because there is a statement in the. I looked it up. Gospel of Mark. It says, do not test Jesus. And you tell him, I'm not testing Jesus. I'm only testing you. Are you Jesus? No, you're not Jesus. Okay, I'm testing you. Then you should see the way, the speed at which he will run will be much faster than the speed at which he came to your home. Okay, we got to keep this, we have the book of tips with us constant. Otherwise, that's the only way to protect ourselves here. Anyway, so look at this. Ihaiva. Why I said all this? Ihaiva. This is an entirely different vision. Here itself, you are liberated while living. Krishna doesn't say afterwards you will come and join me somewhere. No joining business, you're already joined. There's no question of joining. Okay. So the enlightened wave can say, hey, wait a minute, I took myself as a wave. Yes, I am located in this wave, but the entire ocean is water. I am also that water. Wherever I see, there is water. That is the vision. That is the vision I have, the wave can have. And I told you the story of this man and who lives in Madhya Pradesh, and Madhya Pradesh means Madhya Pradesh, in the middle of the country. And in the middle of the country, so he got his daughter married to somebody, and that somebody lives in Bombay. And and so, and the father-in-law, after all the marriage, everything was over. Father-in-law said, you know what? I haven't seen the ocean. Sagar dekhna hai mujhe. Because Madhya Pradesh mein you can't see ocean. You want to see the ocean, you have to come to that. You have to go east or west to lead that. So I have not seen the ocean. I want. So son-in-law said, of course, aa jaiye, Mumbai aa jao. And he packed his bags and then took the train, long journey from Bhopal to Mumbai, and came there. And then and this son-in-law is a taxi driver. And so in the morning they got up, and then he got him in the taxi in the morning. He said, look, uncle, I will be busy, and so I will leave you here. It's the ocean side, seaside. I'll leave you here, and then I'll come back in the evening after all my duties are over. You can enjoy, you can see the ocean as much as you want. He said, okay, and then dropped him off and left. And then 5 o'clock, when the son-in-law comes, this man is furious. He's angry. क्या किया तूने? आपने क्या किया? You told me you're going to show me the ocean. Yeah, this is the ocean. But this is all only water. This is all only water means what? What did you expect? What did you expect about the ocean? Or you had an idea about the ocean? And this fellow says, "It's ये तो पानी है, ये तो पानी है." Yeah, पानी है. Sir, पानी है. That's it. All beauty is within this pani only. All this, all this majesty is there within this pani. And so the wave has to say, has to recognize, hey, wave wave cannot survive beyond a certain point. The human body is going to survive only for some years, and so accept it completely. And you can accept it completely because you know that you are not the body. The wave knows I am water. I sustain the ocean. I sustain rains. I am the one who gives existence to the rains. I am the one who gives existence to the tears in my eyes. Everything water only. Okay, that's the vision the wave has to have. And so the wave is taught, your water. Everything is water. Every wave is water. Every surf is water. Every drop is water. And so this ihaiva tairjita sargaha, very important differentiating aspect of Sanatana Dharma. So even in our own Dharma, we have so many, Vaishnavas are there, Shaiva Siddhantas are there. So Dvaita vision is there, Shishta Dvaita, everything is there. Everybody wants you to go to heaven, correct? So important to think through all this. And then, and of course, if I don't get the vision, I may go to a place, Krishna will say later on. He'll say later on, Arjuna is going to ask the question. Arjuna is going to ask, he's going to say, this is a grand vision. Suppose I start studying like this and then suddenly I die. That can happen anytime. And I pass away. Moksha is not there. I'm still in the process of appreciating this vision. What happens? Krishna says, don't worry. Don't worry, you will pick up the thread, he says. You will pick up the thread. But you know what he says? He says, Shuchinam Shrimatam Gehe. You will be born in a family which is given to this kind of a study. Look at that. Krishna is saying that. Because this right environment must be there. Otherwise, you can't pick up this thread. Otherwise, this knowledge is not available for us. And so you will be born in that kind of a family. When? And Krishna says, Ushitva Shashwati Samaha. What is it? He says, Shashwati Samaha. After many years of living an enjoyable life, you will be born in a family like this. That's what it is. It means what? Krishna doesn't guarantee. He says, next Janma, you'll be born again, and then you'll finish off the Bhagavad Gita course. He doesn't say that. He doesn't say that. He says after, because Krishna himself doesn't know how much punyam papam is there in this. Assuming there's a lot of punyam, you will live a long, great life. For many, Shashwati Samaha, endless number of janmas you live, then you come back to this teaching. That's what he's saying. So Krishna doesn't say. He doesn't say, I will teach you, you come there, I will continue. And all that doesn't make all those promises. And so much to learn here. And then he also says, Nirdosham hi samam Brahma. Look at that. Nirdosham. That Brahma is Nirdosham. Nirdosham. Another differentiating factor, differentiating aspect of our Advaita Vedanta. You hear all these words, these sentences, and you are a sinner, papi, all that thing. You are a papi, you are a sinner. People begin to believe all this. That in fact, Hindus also start believing you are a papi by listening to so much. And all TV channels you do, and every other channel, these fellows are saying the same thing. They have purchased entire media they have in their hands. And so, here, look at that. Nirdosham. Dosham means defect. Nirdosham means defect free. There is no defect. Brahma is defect free. You, the Atma, is free of defect. Free of defect. Free of defect means what? What is a defect? Our Shastram considers all attributes as defects. Birth and death is considered a defect. Because birth and death is there means it will constantly continue. Okay? Punyam and papam, defect. Because nobody wants that kind of a. Everybody wants to be complete, full, and so all these are defects. Every attribute is a defect, and every change is a defect. Vikaraha. Anything that changes is doshavat. Doshavat means that which has it. But here, nirdosham. Nirdosham. Second chapter also. So a lot was said, achedyoyam, adahyoyam, etc. And so attribute free, nirvikaraha, we saw that. And then when Arjuna was addressed in one chapter, I don't know how many of you remember, he was addressed by a word. And the word was, the meaning of the word is sinless. Sinless. How many of you remember that word? Yeah. Tell something. Show me some numbers in your hand. Third chapter. Yeah, third chapter. So Meeraji, what is? Tell me. Unmute yourself.
Repeat that, Guruji. Anagha, is it?
Correct. So, exactly. So, third chapter, verse number 3. Go back. Lokesmin Divida Nishtha Pura Prokta. So, Krishna, Arjuna was asking, Krishna, tell me, when you praise knowledge so much, why are you asking me to fight this battle? He's asking. And there he says there are two lifestyles, etc. And Krishna addresses Arjuna by what word? Anagha. He's calling Arjuna as Anagha. Beautiful name to give to a child. Anagha. Agha means sin. Agha means sin. Anagha, sinless. You're pure. So no sin can touch you. No papam can touch you. No evil. All these words, evil and all that they say. No. Atma is free of all that. And so Anagha. Here, same word is used for Brahma. Nirdosham. And Brahma is something that is free of any defects, and no defect can touch. That is why we show all our devatas, all our goddesses sitting on a lotus, because the lotus can be in slush, complete slush, but the lotus is unaffected by the slush, and there can be all the water can be there, dirty water can be there, but the leaf is still unaffected by the dirt, unaffected by the water. Okay? That's the significance there. And so, then who is committing all these acts? Who is committing crime? Who's telling lies? Who is deceiving people? What about all that? Is the body doing it? Is the body doing that? Well, the body is inert. Body cannot do that. Then who is doing it? Maybe the sense organs are doing it. They are a party to this crime, are they not? Well, sense organs are like a thermometer. Thermometer will tell you what is the temperature of the body. It doesn't even tell you you need to go to the doctor. It doesn't say all that. You need to take a medicine. It doesn't say all that. Just see the temperature of the body. Period. Because that's all it can do. Sense organs are also like that. Therefore, we can't blame the sense organs. Even though this Shastram, Krishna periodically says, okay, Ragadvesho Vyavastito Sayorna Vashamagachet and all he says. And so sense organs, can't blame them. They are given to me for a purpose. I just have to use them. Oh, okay. So who am I? Oh, I'm the mind. The mind is the guy. This is the problem. And the mind is the cause of all problems. This is another popular thesis, popular philosophy. And mind is the cause of all. Therefore, what should you do? You have to kill your mind. This is the solution. But Krishna doesn't say that. He says mind is not the cause of your problems. Mind is an instrument. Antakaranam. Antakaranam. Antakaranam, the job of the Antakaranam is to have thoughts, is to have emotions, is to think, is to deliberate, is to decide. That's the job. The human being needs that faculty. It is given. So don't blame the mind, don't blame the intellect. But things do happen. And what about Atma? Therefore, I should blame the Atma. Correct? Because we're always looking for somebody to blame. This is our thinking is like that. We have got used to this kind of thing. Who broke this glass? Broke this glass. Glass just did not walk down and decided to take a jump. I want to jump and see. Kids jump and up and down, right? So the glass also decided, I want to jump down. We know that doesn't happen. And so who broke the glass? We go around asking people. So this is our thinking also. We have to find somebody who is the cause of all problems. Unfortunately, Atma is not a cause of problems, Krishna says. And therefore, body is not the cause, mind is not the cause, senses are not the cause, Atma is not the cause of problems. What problems will happen? There are all kinds of problems. So yeah, of course, the human being has to take responsibility for all actions, no doubt. And so using the mind, actions are done, and that may or may not be in keeping with dharma, and they may or may not be righteous, and so those things happen. But when it comes to pointing blame, nobody is available to accept the blame. And as a human being, as somebody with a personality, with an ahankara, can say, yeah, I will take the blame for it. I am responsible for it. I am accountable for it because I am the one who did the actions. I can say that. But that I is ahankara, and ahankara is also yeah. So after taking the blame, after taking full responsibility, I am ready for this teaching, and then I find out that I am Atma, that is free of all defects. Free of all defects. It does not take me off the hook. I'm still responsible for everything I do. But Atma is free of all defects, and I am that Atma. That clarity is there. So Krishna says here, reminds us that Brahma is nirdosham. Don't blame Brahma, don't blame for what happened. So important for us to, because dharma is natural to all of us, and so we have to at some point accept that things are happening the way they are. I will take responsibility for my actions, and I will help myself, and I will make myself relatively free of guilt and hurt. I must be relatively free of all guilt and all. Then I am available for the Shastra. And the Shastra says, Nirdosham hi samam brahma. Samam brahma, we've seen that. It's same as samye sthitam manaha. Brahma is samam. Brahma is the same. There are not many different types of Brahma. Hey, what about Nirgunam Brahma and Sagunam Brahma? There are two types of Brahma. No, it's not two types of Brahma. It's like saying, oh, there is wavy water, there is droplet water. Not two kinds of water. It's just two different forms of water. Water is identical. And so, Samam Brahma. Okay. Tasmat Brahmani te sthitaha. Tasmat, therefore, te sthitaha. They abide, they remain. Sthitaha means remain. In Brahma, they remain in Brahma. Means what? They already are in Brahma. Everybody is in Brahma anyway. But they remain in Brahma. Means their vision is now clear. Their knowledge is in Brahma. They know that I am Brahma. Brahmarpanam Brahma. Brahmagam Brahmanagam Brahmaiva Tena Gantavyam Brahma Karma Samadhina. So, therefore, that vision is there that we saw in the 4th chapter. And Tasmat Brahmani Te Sthitaha. This is the vision. And somebody might say, this is great, but I like the idea. I like the idea as Atma is free of sin, free of papam, nirdosham. I like that idea. That's very good. But if you had told me, if you know this vision, then you can come back in the next life. You can enjoy the rest of this life. And next Dharma also you can come back, and your life will be very different. You will have X-ray eyes. You can see everything through, and you have the power of seeing the other person's thoughts, what the person is thinking. That also you can see. You can decide to do whatever you want. Your body will be free of disease. There is no pain, no more pain at all. At least if you had told me that, I would have liked it. But now you're telling me Atma is Brahma and Brahma is Nirgunam, Nirdosham, etc. And then after death, what will happen? I won't come back also. Previously it was said, right? I won't come back. Huh? Punaravrittim, apunaravrittim, gachanti. They won't come back. This not coming back, I don't like. It makes me a little uncomfortable. I don't know. I need to think about it. You will come back, you should say. You will come back and you'll be free forever and you'll enjoy life. That's what I like. That's the kind of vision I would like. You will not come back and all that. This idea of disappearing, I don't like. That can be a thinking. And because our idea of life is also like that. And free from pain, free from sorrow, free from any kind of inadequacy. I must be happy all the time. And I must be alive. And death is, nobody wants death. So that's the life. If you promise me that life, that is why all those religions are so popular. So popular because this is what they promise. They promise what you call bliss. The word bliss also comes from there only. This is not our dharma and our bliss. You won't find bliss anywhere in this talk. Bliss. This means just beatitude. They have all these words, beatitude and all that. And forever you will be in the presence of God, and so everything will be fine thereafter. And so here, Krishna doesn't seem to say all that. Okay. And he says, Apunaravrittim gachanti. You are not going to come back. That means what? Am I going to disappear? No, you can't disappear. Where is the question of disappearing? Atma is nityaha. Atma is saprakashaha. Atma is achalaha. Atma is the only thing that is there. And Atma is the one that gives appearance to everything. And so Atma is self-existent also. It doesn't depend on anything. And it always is. It was, it is, and it will be. Therefore, you are not going to disappear anymore. Identity is not there anymore. And so that's the vision here. And so Brahmani, so Tesham, Tasmat Brahmani Testitaha. Therefore, they remain in Brahman. They remain with that vision of Brahma. Let's see what the translation of the shloka is. Okay. The cycle of birth and death, Sargaha, the cycle of birth and death, is one over. Sargaha Jitaha. Jitaha. 1 over. Here itself, Iha Eva. Here itself. Within brackets in this slide. Yeah, Mahesh, go ahead and unmute.
We're not able to hear well. It's a lot of echo. I couldn't.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, it's modulating and I couldn't hear. In fact, you asked a question. I couldn't hear what you asked.
Okay. So who raise the hands? Those who say audio is okay. Almost majority, 80% of the people have raised their hands. So Harappa, whose audio is not good? Raise your hands.
It is not breaking out,
Audio
but it is modulating.
Modulating. Okay. Swapna and Haraprasad and Mahesh.
Yeah, maybe people in this side of the ocean.
No, audio quality, Guruji, audio quality is not as good as your previous ones
It
have
used
been,
to be.
but we are able to hear.
The cycle of birth and death is 1 over Sargaha Jitaha. Here itself, Iha Eva. Here itself means in this life itself. That is the meaning. While
Can you
living.
repeat from the beginning, please?
The cycle of birth and death, Sargaha, is 1 over. Here itself, Iha Eva Jitaha. By those, Taihi, whose minds are rooted in that, whose minds are rooted in that, yesham manaha sthitam, or whose mind is rooted in that. Better to keep it in singular because Krishna says it in singular. Whose mind is rooted in that, which is the same in everything. Samye, which is the same in everything. Namely, Brahma. Full stop. Since Brahma, since Brahma or Brahman, comma, that is free from any defect. Since Brahman, comma, that is free from any defect, nirdosham hi Brahma, nirdosham hi Brahma, comma, is always the same, samam, is always the same, comma, they abide in Brahma. Te Brahmani sthitaha. They abide in Brahma. They means Panditaha, the wise people, abide in Brahma. Since Brahman, comma, that is free from any defect, comma, is the same, within brackets always, is always the same, comma, they abide in Brahma. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.